I had this attorney. This was only like a month ago.
Mm.
He showed up for a sales call, and
No,
I
this is a
just
lead. This is a
this is a lead. Yeah,
okay.
this is a pretty decent lead from LinkedIn,
Hmm.
and I have a little campaign I run that has just been really successful. And um, he showed up, and I just thought this guy, he's all set. I don't think he really needs what I have to offer. But boy, is he interesting.
Hmm.
So I just was very relaxed, and I went, I am going to do this as if he is already a client
Mm.
and is already paying me, and I'm going to start it out like just like that. Is I'm going to use these specific questions as if he's signed a contract and he's just all into what I do. And I'm like, oh, cool, let's start. Here's how I do it. Here's my questions. And
Hmm.
that first question is, what is the problem your prospect is coming to you to solve, Mr. Attorney?
Hmm.
Um, and and I, even because I'm kind of a nervous, a little bit of a nervous guy who loves a good script,
Hmm.
uh, I wrote out a script because I was just like, plus I'd never done it before, and I just said, "Hey, I don't basically like, I know you're busy and I'm real busy. Do you mind if we just dive right into this?"
Love it.
And he was, and this has happened every single time since then. The answer is always absolutely. They never hesitate. They don't really, because I used to always start it off with some pleasantries like my name, like
Mhm.
I'm Kevin Friedberg. How are you? How's the weather?
Yeah.
Whatever. And I don't even introduce myself. I don't say my name. I just, you can see my face. That's probably enough.
Uh-huh.
And I just say, can I just dive right in? And they're like, absolutely. And I go, okay, and then I sound almost like a game show host. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
here's the deal. um, I made a small tweak to your LinkedIn profile. I'm going to ask you three questions, and then we're going to see if we can make that tweak 10% better. Is
Hmm.
that okay?
Hmm.
And they say, uh huh, or absolutely, that's awesome. And I'm like, cool. And I'm like, what is the, I give them the tweak,
Hmm.
and I say, I think you can get 10% better. What is the problem your prospect is coming to you to solve? And it's game over from then. It is
Hmm.
game over. I am just as happy as a clam. They look like they're happy, and they just go in and they just talk about this problem. And then I go, okay, now let's back up. I go, who is this prospect? And that's, of course, positioning. And they
You're
go,
asking them who their prospect is,
yeah,
right?
who is your product? Like,
Just to
we've
give.
already kind of gone into the problem, and I'm like, oh wait, let's back up. Who is this person?
Hmm.
And that leads to more
Yeah, their
talking
target
on their
market.
part. I
Yeah.
shut the hell up because I'm very curious and taking voracious notes,
Hmm.
and they get to do their thing. And then I say, what issues are they struggling with in their business? They go on and on and on sometimes.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then I say, how are you sort of uniquely qualified to solve this problem? And boy, can they talk about that? And they can see the document because it's a Zoom. I'm sharing my screen. I'm like, look, there are no secrets here. This is your document. When we're done, you may have it, and I'll give you access. You can deny me access when you're done with it. There's sensitive information. You cut me out of the loop. I mean, that's all good. But when we're done, and I'm kind of like a little bit like dancing I'm tap dancing a little bit at the end because I'm like, all right, here we go. I'm going to have to try to make this 10% better based off all this content you've given me,
Hmm.
and 100% of the time. And of course, and they're contributing. They're like, that's good. But what if we change this word or that? And I'm like, yes, that's awesome. And I'm like, here it is. How do you feel about this new headline profile? And they're like, I love it. And I'm like, and then I can either say like, well, I can help you finish the page, or anything else you need. But more importantly, would you like to meet again, say next week? And almost always they're like, holy crap, would I ever?
Hmm.
Um, and there's been some kind of, I don't know how to describe it. Maybe it's some kind of bond because we're sort of in the soup. together, just figuring that now we're on the same team. Like, oh yeah, that's good, but what about this and that?
Yeah, they're leaned way in.
Yeah, they're just, and it's like they get to see me working. This is how it's like to work with me. It doesn't look any different no matter what we're doing. And you're gonna leave with this new thing that you feel good about because you're putting down some words too. Um,
Right. So they're bought
and
in.
yeah, it just, I don't know. It just feels like uh, it's so then at some point, it doesn't usually happen in that first call. It's almost always the second call when it is time for me to sell you or here's how I can help. And I use the same document that from the first call. And as you scroll down, it becomes basically your proposal, Jonathan Stark's proposal,
Mm-hmm.
um, um, and they basically helped me write the proposal because we've all this work we've done is kind of filling in all these blanks, and it's just an ugly looking Google Doc with just words. There's no visuals, stock photography I'm pulling in,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's three options, and there's benefits and deliverables and outcomes,
And now
and then
you're
there's a
creating those
stripe.
on the fly, or those are you
The,
creating?
the last call, I really did. I was out of time, and I did not. I think I didn't wind up putting. I have sort of stock benefits and deliverables. I just pulled in at the last minute,
Mm-hmm.
but it was enough. But what happened was where I got so excited was I was like, okay, so we've solved this line, and we've kind of fleshed out more of your prospect and how they could sort of contact you on LinkedIn and your positioning and all of the good stuff. So it sort of just very naturally said, now I'd like to ask you, what is your problem? Like, what do you need? And then
Mm-hmm.
that they come in with website or LinkedIn page or whatever. Why this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, this, that, the other. Okay, and why now? And then of course, because we've been working together for already half an hour on the first call, maybe 20 minutes on the second.
Uh-huh.
Now I really can just say, why me? And they go, well, holy cow. I mean, that last call, we went and used that in a meeting last week, or we changed our page.
Yeah.
If you go to our homepage, our headline is different now because of our work. And they're selling me. And then I can go, okay, here's how I can help. And because I had gotten to that why me, which is my favorite thing.
Mm.
Like that was so mind blowing, Jonathan. I can't even tell you to boldly say to someone, "Why me?" is crazy. Like that. Nobody does that. It takes
Yeah.
a lot of guts. Just to, truth be told, like I know the why conversation is really meant for value pricing, and I do really at this point. It might be different later with this latest turn of events, but I still do productized services.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But it just again when this is what you and I worked on together for my purposes, because I do have a little bit of that anxiety of like, I don't know what to say next. That gives me that gives me a little script of like, oh, I offer this. The prices are on my website, which you can kind of check. And it just is nice for me to not have to sort of make stuff up on the spot.
Right.
But yeah.
That's great. Yeah. So basically, it's kind of like you give them, first hits free. You get like a 30-minute working session where they get a tangible outcome, and it's a tangible experience of an intangible thing, I suppose, where they feel what it's like to finally have clarity about that, that little snippet of their positioning on their LinkedIn headline or wherever, and they can feel the transformation. So you don't have to you're just demonstrating for them, like, how much better it's going to feel when you actually know what to say when somebody asks, what do you do? You're going to feel like a rock star.